Hi, it's Tim Hagen from Progress Coaching, and welcome to another episode for the Coaching Conversations podcast. Now, we are on Stitcher, we are on iTunes, and multiple different channels. Please check us out. Now, one of the things that you'll get out of our podcast episodes is a lot of content, a lot of strategy. It's not fluff, it's not concept, yet we really want you to engage with the content and let us know your feedback. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. If there's topics you'd love to have us address, we would love to share them with you. Let us know your impact and let us know your feedback.
One of the toughest things that we don't talk enough about in the training space is how do we get leaders to apply things that they're taught? So if a leader goes through a class on how to have difficult conversations or how to coach employees or how to coach a generation or how to coach to motivate, what's the next step after that training? And we just tend to forget this fundamental so often, and that is we have to apply it. And what is apply? What is the application? I think it's discussion. I think it's a review of case studies specific to the real world that they live in. I think it's also practice and role playing and simulations. So think about this. If you went to a 2-day workshop and somebody gave you a class on public speaking and you're going to prepare to do a keynote and you're going to have 1,000 people, would that facilitator honestly encourage you not to practice? Yet the facilitator, the trainer, and I say this on behalf of all of my training friends, they do not have the responsibility or the wherewithal, I might add, to actually go out and follow leaders back to their office and make sure that they're applying, practicing, discussing, going through simulations, case studies, and role play sessions. Now they can schedule it, but you know what we're going to get. We're going to get the proverbial, I don't have time. So then we have to be honest with ourselves, everybody. And that is, we have to say, I'm just going to show up and wing it. No one will tell you that. But if you're not practicing, discussing, applying what was taught in some format, whether it be one-on-one coaching, whether it be a cohort, whether it be a peer-to-peer practice session, whatever that is, then in essence, you've made a commitment to just show up and wing it. So how do we do that? I want to introduce you to a concept called cadence coaching. Now, this was as a result of one of our clients saying, Tim, you're not doing enough one-on-one coaching with us. And I said, let me tell you why. And it was a vice president of a publicly traded company. And he was a little upset with us. He said, why have you canceled? I said, because your employees and leaders don't show up for half the calls. Now, I know that sounds very negative. I shouldn't do that. Don't burn a bridge. And I said, here's why. I'm losing money trying to give you money. He goes, what do you mean? I go, we're not charging for these one-on-ones, which I think was part of the problem. But at the same time, logistically, people get very, very busy. So what we've done is we've come up with a methodology. We've actually built a course. So if you're intrigued by this, send me an email, tim@progresscoachingleader. Just put on the subject line cadence. We actually teach people how to do cadence, but we also do cadence. And essentially what we do is we have a combination of in-person and asynchronous coaching. We have a platform that allows us to provide a coaching challenge. And the coaching challenge is typically 3 things. It's a lesson, it's an action that we prompt them to take, and then they have to reflect and share after they take the action, right within the digital platform. Nobody sees it except for us and the person or the persons that we're coaching. And the success that we're having is tremendous. One person has shared that their sales are up over 30% because we're providing real world support. Here's the really cool thing. With a greater cadence of interaction, let's say you have a big meeting with your team this Thursday, and you want a really good activity to facilitate collaboration and engagement. Maybe that's the area that you're coaching your team on. And our coaching session isn't until the following Friday. What do? You would have to wait. You'd have to encapsulate. You'd have to remember everything. So what we've actually done is give people a mobile platform where they can share, and we get back to them typically within 4 business hours with audio, video, or text, or even attachments, speaking directly to what our leaders are actually experiencing. So what's happening is we're having a greater cadence of interaction, and we're dealing with real world stuff. We're not prompting people to go from training and try to remember what to apply. So one of the things that we have to do better in the leadership industry is travel the roads with our leaders, to get in the car with them and travel with them. Because quite frankly, they have a lot on their plate. Let me just share one more. I was having an interaction on our platform with one of our leaders at one of our client sites. And he said, how do we build this out? How can I facilitate practice? Our people need to get better. And I forget the particular area. It was a customer service team. So what I did is I used one of our AI tools and I built them out a peer-to-peer coaching program and practice schedule. I said, here are the rules, here are the forms, here's how they can self-administer, here's how you know they're actually doing it, and you'll get an evaluation. I automated it for you. You would have thought I built him a mountain. He said, oh my gosh, this is awesome. Now, would he have done that on his own? Probably not. But what I did is I put in a system in a matter of a couple hours. Now, it didn't take me long because we have our own AI tools, but it spoke directly to him. So think about cadence coaching. Think about learning how to do it. And more importantly, if you want someone to partner with you and your leaders or your employees, we also provide cadence as a service.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Coaching Conversations by Tim Hagen and Progress Coaching. Now, our company is always coming out with new and innovative solutions to help leaders coach their employees. And recently, we just created a new service called Coach to You, where leaders can pick and choose topics and assign 7 to 21-day programs for employees to learn and, more importantly, apply actions and then reflect and share what they're going to do going forward as a result of the learning. It's called Coach to You. We're literally bringing coaching to your employees. If you're intrigued, we'll have a link in each one of our episodes where you can get more information. And again, thank you so much for listening to another episode.